All right, today starts and ends with an inherent and a mindful distrust of the Fed. And also the same, an inherent and a mindful distrust of the media. And this one's going to start and end with that. If you're not there, if that's not you, this may not be the video for you. I don't say that rudely, just respectfully. It's probably not going to be for you. If you think all we need to do is just vote in some fresh faces and fresh voices into DC and everything's going to be okay, and that the Fed's really on your side, and that the media is really on your side, and that people and those people are telling us the truth in any way, shape, or form, it's probably not the video for you. We're gonna go through some things, including those shoes. Everybody today is talking about those shoes. We'll get there. Let me get there. I'm gonna do the same format as yesterday. I'm just gonna hit highlights, things that I have drawn out of hours today of being on this thing and just reading and talking to people. It's a mess. There's also gonna be a little bit of tinfoil hat-ish, just a little bit. And I told somebody today who the advertiser was for this, the sponsor, and people are like, yeah, was that planned? Like, no, this was planned. Yeah, it was planned last February. It's coincidental, and I think that's interesting and important to be able to parse coincidence versus planning. Stick with me. It's a mess. Can we all agree on that one? Buckle up, here we go. This mess is brought to you by Bullet Safe. I talk to you about them about every month. Their VP3 is a lot of bang for the buck. It's a level 3 vest that is concealable, full range of motion, and it's comfortable. And again, it's a lot of bang for the buck compared to what else is on the market. You're gonna love it, and you're gonna love that price point. Great news, 10% off with coupon code Johnny10. That's new. Never done that before. Click the link right down below. It's also the top link in the comments. It's the VP3 Level 3 vest from Bullet Safe, and the coupon code is Johnny10. Check it out. I think you will be happy. An inherent distrust of the Fed, big time. If you agree with that, how about a thumbs up? You wouldn't be here if you didn't. And, there's a lot of good in this world, but there's a lot of stuff where they pee down our leg and they tell us that it's raining. I've been going through this. I've got several points, and then we're going to get to the shoes, so stay with me. We have a continuum when I look at stuff like this. There is a continuum. There's things that we know and that we know that we know. This is what happened. And then there's things that go all the way out to big, spooky question marks. I love getting anywhere in here. I have a friend named Casey. Shout out to Casey. Love you, Casey. Casey lives out here, and we need him. He's out there thinking about things that make me go, ooh. And then there's my dad. I think he's on the other end. He's a very clear thinker and a very rational thinker. We need him too. I'm all over the place in here, and I think you all are too. And you've got to be able to go, you know what? We don't know where things are sometimes. I love talking about interdimensional travel and interdimensional stuff, but it's out there. As far as what's going on right now, we've got to be able to stop and go, you know what? Question mark. I'm going to end today with a question mark. Does that make sense? Let me tell you what I've been pulling out of this, and I've just been looking at this. One is the headlines. People are already arguing about the headlines. Well, the word Christian has not been included in the headlines. There's a lot of folks really upset about the headlines, that they're leaving this out, they're leaving that out. A lot of them, if you'll don't just read the headlines, read the first paragraph also, and you're going to start seeing those keywords. Just a little bit of advice for you. Also, the spin has begun. The spin has begun. Everybody has an opinion on this, and a lot of these are coming in, and they are... Ooh, here's an example, one that came in yesterday from @TND Tracker. And I'm not saying that monster's name. Their name was Beep. I'm not saying it. They're a martyr against transphobia from the hateful Christian bigots like you genociding us. We will defend ourselves from you. Where is your God now? Pray for mercy because we won't show any. And then you have some pink-haired person with a mental disorder postured up showing what's their right to own. It's everything out there. And we've got to be able, kind of like I was talking, parse and think about this stuff. How far out there are they? Where is the truth? Where is the reality? We know this. We know, and we saw this last year and the last several years, we started seeing the parroting and the regurgitation of the exact same information from the media over. We knew they were all marching in lockstep together, arm in arm together, but we actually got to see it. Operation Northwoods, Operation MK Ultra, all of them, all of these things together. When you really look at things like 911, like there's some major questions about Building 7 and how did that passport get out there in the road, and you got to be able to look at this stuff from the media to the Fed. You've got to be able to go, where are we? There are some question marks. There are some major question marks. The media stopped talking about Vegas pretty much on the same day. And within the Vegas, you know what? It was within 72 hours, they had all plummeted and stopped talking. And you can also look lockstep, arm in arm. You can look and see when the media talk about that three-letter, you know, the people that in the last several years that burned America to the ground with mostly peaceful protests. Lockstep, arm in arm, the media talks about them. What we are being fed is propaganda. Even your and my favorite agencies are paid propaganda. It is all propaganda, and we have to be smart. We've got to, especially in things like this, because I do believe in a lot of ways our future is at stake, and we are under a cultural attack, big time. Spin is going on. Biden has really, yesterday, the sniffer, he was giving multiple falsities, just making stuff up. And here's the deal. This is so important. This is a major, major, major point, is that the news cycle spins so fast, nobody ever goes back and goes, nah, you know what? That was wrong. Example, yesterday he gets spinning about flamethrowers and how Americans can't own flamethrowers. Yes, we can. You dirty old man. Yes, we can. But it spins so fast, nobody goes backwards. All right, there's a whole thing about this crisis actor. I don't know. I'm a big believer in Occam's razor. Which kind of pushes me back here. But I mean, if you didn't see this, there's a crisis actor who just happens to be an activist, active in D.C., and it's very much the primary. I'm not going to say that moron's name, but their primary focus is on anti-mass. Just happened to be in town, just happened to be headed over in Nashville to right there. I used the word fishy yesterday. I'm going to use the word with this crisis actor again. Fishy, just happened to be in the area. A lot of talk about the motive and the media's going overboard to show us that there is no motive. More than fishy. Full-on tinfoil hat on that one. Propaganda. What about the manifesto? Moving up next is the manifesto. There is a manifesto. You say manifesto. This is a moron. This is a sick, mentally deranged criminal. So, I mean, manifesto sounds like it's going to be some poetic, literary work of art. I'd say it's ramblings of a moron, but they are not releasing it. Holy smokes, and they are getting aggressive. I know this is going to be a little bit pixelated. It's not that great of a pic that I pulled from Newsweek. This is from Newsweek. Quote, "It should not be published." Jordan Budd, the executive director of Collage, told Newsweek, quote, "The focus should be on how this was able to happen in the first place. There should not be an easy access to deadly weaponry." We have easy access to claw hammers, kitchen knives in our vehicles. We're okay with that, aren't we? We're okay with that. Furthermore, Charles Moron, the national president of the Log Cabin Republicans, a GOP organization that advocates for equal rights for the alphabet, also told Newsweek there are serious consequences for the public release of the manifesto. The rumor mill is saying that it is ugly, that the manifesto is ugly, and that it is not fitting the narrative that Sniffy and that regime wants. You can jump online. All right, let's talk about those shoes. Everybody's talking about the shoes. Everybody and their brothers talking about those shoes. Plus the camouflage patterns. I've got to go dead center on this. When I first saw it, I was like, this spooky, it's spooky, it's spooky. But if you didn't see it, they're showing that and I'm not showing any of that footage, but they're showing that it looks like the outfit that monster was wearing when they were still had a pulse were Pumas. And then after they got to take the room temperature challenge, they switched to the Flame Vans. Those cameras are really crappy. I spent literally an hour reading and looking at this. I think they're the same shoes. I do. I really do. And there's a lot of reasons. I don't want to chase it too far. I think they're the same shoes. But that one screen grab makes me go, ugh. Now, that being said, just because it's the same shoes doesn't mean they're telling us the truth, because I don't think for a second that they are. There is an agenda being pushed at us, and our rights are trying to be taken away today. They've done it. I predicted this weeks ago that it was coming, that there would be a braced, with a brace on it, while they're trying to do this judicial hearing. And I'm standing by that. An inherent distrust of the Fed. You can go from the very beginning all the way until this week, and none of it adds up. Anytime the Fed's involved, it's going to be an agenda being pushed. That's where I'm at, and I know that's some ramblings. I get that. Let me know what you think. I said I was going to end with a question mark. I don't think my prediction will ever know the truth. I think the news cycle will spin. It'll flip around. And that'll be that. What say you? Let me know right down below.